Hello and welcome back to the garden. If you're new here, my name is Karla and this is my garden. Today I'm in the far back next to the end of the property and working my way all the way to the back, adding soil and amendments and things of that nature. So I want to show you what I did today, and it's about to rain, so I'm going to hurry up and walk through this, and hopefully you'll find it entertaining and maybe something I'm doing. You can give me some feedback on how to do it a little better. So let's take a look. Okay, so we're back here by the orange tree. I've gotten all of the amended soil put down around the tree. Here in these 3 pots I found 3 papaya plants. I found 3 papaya trees that were stunted or something. I don't know why they're not growing, but I didn't want to just get rid of them. So I put them in some pots with some fresh soil and, compost. And hopefully they'll perk up and I'll be able to overwinter them and get them started, get them back outside for spring. Here, right above that, is my 2 pepper trees. They are starting to look better now that the weather is starting to get a little cooler. You know, we're here in Southeast Texas, so it's probably not as cool as it is in a lot of other places, but it is cooler. It is cooler. You don't feel like you're gonna explode into furious sweating when you come out anymore. Okay, right where that stick is, I have two potatoes that chitted, and I don't know, it may be too late in the season for them to come up, but I'm gonna give them a try. I have some more potatoes that's in buckets, so if winter rolls in too fast, I'll bring them indoors and hopefully they'll continue to grow on. But these, I wanted to just give them a try, and I put that stick there so that I would remember that I had planted potatoes there. Going around this bin right in front of the banana tree, I've sowed mustard greens. And let me zoom in a little bit because they're awful tiny. But you see, it's right there. Right there. They're starting to put on their second set of leaves, most of them. So I think they're enjoying their little spot. And as long as the birds don't start messing with them, this will be covered in mustard greens. Along this trellis, those are peas, and they never did really well. They gave me a few, but they are awful spotty, I should say. And but they flower, so I didn't want to just pull them up because they might give me a few more beans. If you look here, that plant is starting, get you a little closer, is starting to flower. And so because I didn't get a lot of them, I'm not going to dig them up, but right along the edge here, you can't see them yet, I put in some sweet peas that should be coming up in maybe 3 more days. And then this area right in front, I haven't put anything along here yet, but I probably will put something short growing, like some lettuce or something. Here on this side, I still have the rose bush and the lilies. And this is where I had the okra. It didn't do well. I think I got maybe a dozen pieces of okra off of those plants. It just really didn't do well this year. So I pulled those up and amended the soil And here is the a set of the Egyptian spinach. It's finally here. In my last video where I talked about it, I said I wasn't going to cut it anymore, and so it's starting to put on pods and flower. I need to do something with this pot. I moved it and just sat it here, but I think I'm going to put maybe some garlic or something in it. I have to give it some more thought. And this is where the big lemongrass was. I dug up most of it. I put 4 in pots to bring indoors during the winter. And I put this one back. I trimmed it, and I just did that a couple hours ago. And hopefully it'll resprout. And if we don't have a rough winter, a very harsh winter, it should grow and stay green. But if we have a harsh winter like we have the last 2 years, it'll die all the way back. And that's why I took some and put in pots, so that if it's really harsh, I'll have some that's ready to go in case what's out here dies. Because every now and then when we get a real cold winter, my lemongrass does die, but it's not often. Now here's the rest of the lemongrass that I dug up. I need to find other places to put it in the yard. I trimmed it all. I need to trim the roots and find somewhere around the border of the garden to put it. And I'll mulch everything really well, and hopefully most of them will survive. Now, I think I talked about doing brassicas this year. I've never been successful at them. But in here, I just finished this a few minutes ago. I have kohlrabi in here, cabbage. I think I have 2 different types of cabbage in there, and broccoli. So they're very small. I don't think you can see them. I have some more in pots, but you see right there and there. And I sowed them kind of close because I'm not sure, you know, it's hot here, so if the temperatures go up again and we hit the high 90s, there's a good chance that a lot of it won't survive. But I'm tired right now, but in the morning I'm going to dig around and find a shade cloth to put over it, so that this is just a bug cloth to keep the different bugs off of it, because this is my first time growing it, and so I'm doing my best to be successful at it. But I do think it's too hot right now for it to grow well without bolting, so I'm going to put shade cloth over it for this month, and then by mid to late November I probably can take the shade cloth off, because our temperatures will be in the 50s by then. Since it has started getting cool, a lot of the plants are regrowing. These eggplants, they are starting to flower again. I don't know why those 2 broke off, but they are starting to flower again, so we might get another flush of eggplants. This one down here, let's see if I can get you in close. Something was really gnawing at it, and whatever it was had sharp teeth, but whatever kind of creature it was bit it all the way around. But I'm not going to take it off, because I just think plants look a little sad when they're bare. But we won't eat that one. Over on this side, I have one here. And it's looking really good. Nothing has messed with it. And then there's a small one there starting to grow. So we may get a few eggplant before the year is out. Well, before the cold hits. Here's some more Egyptian spinach. And it's starting to flower. And there's a tiny, tiny little seed bud right there. So I will get some fresh seeds. And then I have this basil. And I'm going to collect seeds from it this year because I have some seed from a couple of years ago. But I just want to make sure I have some fresh seeds. So I'm letting this plant go to seed fully. Over here, these pepper plants are trying again to bud. Now that it's gotten a little cooler. There's a tiny little bud right there. And then on this one also. So we might get a few more peppers. Well, now that I'm looking, they're all budding. This one has a little bud on it too. Something's eating on this one though. It was doing really well. I got a lot of peppers off of it, but something has started eating on it now. And then I have a small patch of onion. I need to order some more walking onion seed because I've been looking around in the garden and I don't think I have any walking onion. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but some of this might be walking onion or some that I got over there by the other patch of okra. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to order me a few more seeds. Here I have a small patch of mustard green. And since it's cooling off, my chiplin peppers are really starting to grow now. There's a lot of them on there. They're not turning red yet. Well, that one back there is, but well, there's a few now that I'm really looking, but the tree has really grown a lot, so I might get some peppers off of it before winter hits, and then I'll trim it back because it's going, and then I'll trim it back so that it's bleeding into this tree next to it, and I need to trim it also because it's getting very long and lanky. And I need to trim both of them, but I'll wait until winter to do that. Then here in the fruit cage, I call it the fruit cage because eventually it will be full of fruit. But because I just started it, all I have is blackberries in here right now. These blackberries on this side are doing very well. I put 3 pots down there. I'm trying to propagate it while it's still on the vine. And I don't really know. Most plants you can do them that way. So I'm just waiting to see if this is a good way to do it because I don't really like to take clippings if I don't have to. To me, it's a slower process, and I don't know if you can do it with blackberries because this is my first time growing these type of blackberries, but I think you can, so we're going to give it a try. Down here, the strawberries that I moved, some of them are doing okay. I think I lost a lot of them because this was all full. But I'm going to order some more strawberries and fill this area in. And then these onions that are right here will be moved over the winter. And I'll make the whole front area be strawberries. And that ought to be enough strawberries for me and Mom. Here I put in just a patch of mixed greens. And they're not doing really well. They're yellowing, and I'm not sure if that's the compost that I just put down or if I wasn't watering them well enough. So I've been watering, and we'll see if that helps. And then right here I have some radishes growing in that little patch here. That's going to be some carrots. They are just starting to come up, but I think they're too small for the camera to catch them. Under this wire is some potatoes. I have some, I ordered some seed potatoes, and I don't know what happened, but by the time they came, it left me feeling like I don't know if I'm going to get any potatoes, but I put them in the ground anyway. I'm hoping that they grow, that it stays warm enough for me to get some potatoes. But if it does not, I'll just leave them in ground, and hopefully they will re-sprout in spring. And then right up against the fence there is another type of blackberry, and it's not doing as well. I think I mentioned that in another video, and I think it's because, see, if I go up, you see all those trees? So my intent is, if my money does not get funny, I'll get a tree guy to come out here and cut that down until it's nothing. I want him to take those trees totally out. Right in the front here, that's weeds, but if you look right there, there's 4 trees in that line, and they're huge. They're very tall. So hopefully I can get that done. And then right behind this fruit cage, I'm growing some buckwheat. I just put it in the ground maybe a week ago, and it's really doing well. It's really full. I was hoping it would be even fuller than that, but that should be full enough to... That's a new bed, so what I'm trying to do is establish it, let the buckwheat put nutrients in the ground, and also have... Maybe I can take 2 cuttings for my chickens before I cover it back and just let it rot down. I still haven't gotten back there, but you can see right there, that bed is primarily full of Jerusalem artichoke. So that will be my artichoke bed. And then beyond that is room for maybe one more kind of large bed, and then we're at the alley. So I'm working my way to the alley over there, but I'm not there yet. And you see this little puppy? He's a very young dog. I don't know if he's a puppy, but he ended up in the yard, and I've been feeding him because I think he's cute. And I haven't named him or anything yet because I'm not sure if he's going to stay. But so far, he's getting more and more friendly. He follows me around. He will not let me touch him. But he's only been here maybe a week. And so he follows me around. And I think he's precious. So I'm going to keep him if nobody doesn't claim him. But I'm not going to name him yet because I don't want to fall too in love with him if I can't keep him. Now here in this bed, that's my toilet planter. I haven't planted anything in it yet other than what was already there, that cactus. And I'm giving thought to taking it out of there. But I've started cleaning out this bed. I sowed some wildflower seeds in there that ought to be coming up pretty soon. And I will let this bed just be a perennial flower bed. As time passes, I'll get different flowers to put in it. I haven't decided yet what I want to permanently be there, but I do know I want it to be a blooming plant, something that blooms from spring to late summer. So to help with the bees and the hummingbirds. So I'm going to just take this bed and go all the way around. I think that chipling plant is going to come out of there. And we're going to go all the way around and make that all a flower bed. Now I think I showed this in a previous video. I put down compost and I'm slowly cleaning this out. I was going to start tearing this down tomorrow, but I may have to wait until Friday to start tearing it down because some things have come up and I may not be able to get to it as soon as I can, but hopefully it'll be out of here in about, once I start on it, hopefully it won't take me but maybe 3 days at the latest to get it down. But it's pretty rotten, so it might just start falling when I start pulling on it. But here I have this large rosemary. I need to take some clippings off of that. And these pepper plants are starting to flower again. Here is a pepper, but they're all starting to flower again. I have some mustards down here. And then that empty spot there, I need to plant something there. I may just go ahead and get some more of the buckwheat seeds and let them go all the way out. I'm not sure yet. And then this junky area, when I'm finished, will be a walkway that takes you all the way to the alley. And then I'll be on this side and turning this into a bed. This okra is not looking very well. I'm getting a little okra off of it, but not enough to really matter. So I'm going to pull this okra out. This was a bad year. This was a bad year for okra for me. And I really think it was the fertilizer that I put down. But hopefully all this fresh compost will rectify that problem. Those are the green beans, and they're doing pretty well. They're starting to get a few spots on them now, but on the leaves. But I think that's because the temperatures are starting to change. Inside the little tunnel, I've been working, gotten fresh soil. I took bricks. And I made a full bed on this side and on that side. I started putting my pots up on these strings, but I'm thinking I'm going to take them down and move them indoors because it occurred to me that if they're going through the weather, the hot, the cold, the rainy, it may damage, it may make the pots not last that long. So I'm going to leave them on the string and hang them in the rafters in the chicken house and take them down when I need them. The ivy is looking really good, but it's almost time for me to take it in because once it gets cold, it's going to die back. And because it's not in the ground, I'm afraid that it won't survive the winter. But I've started planting. These are some mustards that have just come up. Those are mustards. In this pot, these are mustards, and these are rutabaga, and these are rutabaga. Then up here I have some bunching onions, some celery. The celery hasn't started coming up in this pot yet. I have some that has started sprouting on the outer bench. I have back here, that's Brussels sprouts. This whole row here is turnips, and then the next row over there is red kale, and they're all starting to come up. Here I have some young pansies starting to grow, and again, here's some more pansies. I ordered a lot of different flowers that should do well here from, well, deep into the winter. So pansies are one of them, but the other ones haven't come in through the mail yet. Over here I have a mixture of Brussels sprouts, far to the end, rutabaga. I even put in a few cantaloupe here. And I'm going to put them in the ground, but they may not do anything. Here are some seeds, some asparagus seeds. Oh, I wasn't looking at it, I'm sorry. Here are some asparagus seeds that I forgot I had in here. And so I started watering them and they're coming back to life. And in a few minutes when we get around on the other side, I'll show you where I put the asparagus. I ordered some new roots, and I moved what I already had to make a larger bed. In this pot I have some Jersey cabbage, which is what I also put in the little grow tent that I showed you earlier, and these are some Brussels sprouts. Under here, these are Swiss chard starting to come up, and back there I have onions and some more Swiss chard and some more red kale. So, oh, and I have some asparagus on this side, and that's lettuce back there. These two trays, I need to get them out into the garden tomorrow. But I pulled all these little shelves out of there, and I'm trying to redo the little grow house. In a few weeks I'll be taking the shade cloth off and putting plastic on it so that the plants I keep outside will have more protection. Here I have some mustard greens that I started putting out in the garden in the back, and I need to finish putting them out tomorrow. In this cooler I have some more carrots. They're very young, but I think you can see them. And I put carrots everywhere, so I'll have some in pots and buckets in the ground. Here in these pots I have some more. This is Swiss chard. This is thyme that just starting to come up. I have a few green onions, a few zinnias. Here I have some celery that's just starting to come up. And that's some bok choy that it's not looking very good, so I need to hurry up and get it out of that pot. Here in these pots are my ginger, and they're all coming up now. I think the last time I showed them they were not coming up. These are the ones that came up first, and then in this pot is the ones that had not came up but are starting to finally sprout now. And here I just have some zinnia flowers that are growing, and some more green beans here. And here is some ginger that I put it down here because it didn't look like it would sprout, but it's sprouting. All three pieces have sprouted, so I may dig them up and put them in a pot, because ginger does not, if it gets cold here, ginger will not survive the winter. And so because I have so few pieces of ginger, I would really like for them all to survive. So that's probably what I do, maybe in the next couple of days. Back there are some more bell pepper plants, and they're starting to re-sprout bell peppers, but they are looking a little weak. I watered them really heavy today because they're doing some yellowing, but there is fruit on it, so they might rebound and give me a little bit more fruit before it's over. And I cut down all of the bananas except for those two. That one re-sprouted, that little one right there. But when it's time to wrap them out, I need to get in there and dig that root out, and that'll stop those from re-sprouting. And then back there, all of that is different types of zucchini, and they're not doing good. So I'm going to put something new here. I might take some broccoli or something and put there. But in the next couple of days, I'm going to just pull that out. Some of these, I have so many of these papaya trees that I know are not going to make it through the winter. So I'm going to pull up some of these as well, and hopefully I can get enough of the root that it'll continue to grow in the house over winter. Now here, this is some collard greens, and they're stunted. They've been here long enough where they should be taller than that. So I think I need to put a liquid feed on them, and maybe that'll boost them. But they're not looking like they're going to do much this year. So I may need to, well, first I'll put some liquid feed on them, and then if they don't get better, I'll just get them out of there and cover this bed for a while. The compost might be too hot on it. In this bed, all of this is mustard greens that you're seeing, and they're growing pretty slow too. But a lot of them, see, they're down this row is spotchy, but those 2 rows didn't come up at all. So I don't know if the compost that I bought is too hot still. It doesn't feel hot or smell hot, but it might be hot. Or it could be that I have a little critter coming eating things, because lately we have a lot of crows flying overhead. I haven't seen them in the garden, but they are around. So just because I haven't seen them don't mean they're not visiting. This bed is just a hodgepodge of different plants. That middle part, all of this is different types of radishes. Those are green beans against the fence there. No, I'm sorry, those are lima beans against the fence. But I see I need to get in here tomorrow because I have leaf miner that has started. Well, that's what it looks like. I don't know if that's what it is, but something's starting to munch. This is my new asparagus bed. I just planted all my new roots, and the ones with the little ferns sticking out, those are the older ones that I already had, and I moved them. So hopefully the new ones, they look very dry to me. The last time I got asparagus roots, they shipped them in paper towel, in damp paper towel. This company did not, and so I'm hoping that they're all right. I soaked them really well for a few hours in water, and then I planted them, so hopefully they'll rebound. And then all these canna lilies, I'm going to cut all that back to maybe one row. I do think I want them there, because when I use that run, which you can't see right now, but when I use that chicken run, it kind of protects the chickens from seeing the road, because we sit right at the road. So if I don't leave the cannas, I will put something there to block their view. And then there is that composting bin I made. I think I'm going to leave it there for now, but I don't like it there. So it will be moving too before spring. And then we have the 2 banana trees, this one and that one. I'm going to do my best to take away the pups and wrap the more mature trees, because I think I said before, I have not gotten any bananas off of these Cavendish bananas. And I think it's because they're not surviving the winter. So I'm going to wrap them real good and see if I can protect them through winter. And then this area is where I have my Thai eggplants, and they're doing pretty good. They're starting to flower again. So They're starting to flower. And I've pulled a few off of it, but nothing like I usually get. So again, hopefully this compost that I'm putting down will fix the problem that I've been having. Now this papaya tree is almost ready to flower, but it won't make it. It's too late in the season. But I'm going to take all the rest of them down, and since this one is the largest one, I'm going to try to wrap it and see if I can make it survive. I haven't grown papaya long enough to know if that's possible, but I do it with the bananas, and they survive, and fruit, so maybe the papaya will too. Over here by the chicken coop, these zucchinis are not doing anything either, so I'm going to pull them up and trim that pepper plant. The pepper plants are really starting to grow now that it's late in the season, but hopefully they'll do better next year. They're flowering and they're putting on fruit, and if the extreme cold don't come in too fast, I probably will get something off of them, but I'm just hoping that they survive the winter. And I don't know what I'm going to put here yet, but all these plants are going to come out tomorrow because they're dying. They're all just dying. And then right here, here's another small patch of radishes that it's a mixture of radishes. I need to see if any of them are ready because they've been there more than 20 days, and get them up and then replant this whole area. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to put here, but all of those zucchinis are going to come out. I'm going to cut back those lilies. A bird must have dropped some corn there. I'm going to pull that up and start getting this area ready for winter. So that's everything that I've done since my last video. This papaya tree is looking really good too. It's almost ready to start putting on flowers, but I don't know. Maybe I'll wrap it too and see if I can save it. But last year my papaya trees did not do well, but I did not wrap them either, so I'm going to try to wrap them this year.